Now onwards we are going to discuss about the cell structure. In your O levels also you learned about the cell. Okay. So my question simply, what is a cell? Cell is the basic structural, functional and biological unit of an organism. Okay, this part is very important. Now, all the cells in this planet Earth can be classified into two groups. That means there are two basic types of cells: eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So, what is the main difference, or what is the main thing we use to categorize cells into these two groups? That is the presence of nucleus. Presence of nucleus, right? So there are cells. So normally in eukaryotic cell, they have organized nucleus. Their chromosomes are present inside the structure called a nucleus. Right? In any kind of eukaryotic organism, they have an organized nucleus. Organized means their chromosomes or their DNA are present inside a structure called nucleus. These are eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, they have DNA, but it is freely available in the cytoplasm. It is not present inside the nucleus. No nucleus. They do not have the nucleus, but they have DNA. Their genetic material is there, that is DNA. But it is not covered with a membrane, or it is not protected by a structure called nucleus. That is the main feature of prokaryotic cells. So basically, that is the feature we are considering to classify the cells. True nucleus organisms and false nucleus organisms. That means prokaryotes do not have true nucleus. Eukaryotes have a true nucleus. Then who have these eukaryotic cells and who are the organisms having prokaryotic cells? That is the other one. Yes. Plants are eukaryotes. Animals are eukaryotes. Fungi, eukaryotes. Slime molds, eukaryotes. Protozoa, eukaryotes. Algae, eukaryotes. Right? So these are eukaryotic organisms. That means their cells are having an organized nucleus. So what are prokaryotic cells then? Who are prokaryotic organisms? Bacteria. That's it. Bacteria categorized into archibacteria, bacteria likewise, but all the bacteria are prokaryotes and every organism is in eukaryotic eukaryotes. Okay? Eukaryotes. Yeah. Normally, the prokaryotic cells are very small, but eukaryotic cells are larger than the prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells have true nucleus, right? And basically, remember, most important thing is in eukaryotic cells, the cell is compartmentalized. So the main important thing is we can see the compartmentalization in a eukaryotic cell. What do you mean by that? That means the functions which is carried out by the cells are happening inside compartments. Inside the organelles. They have organelles called mitochondria, called the chloroplast, Golgi apparatus, ectoplasmic reticulum, rhizome. Likewise, different functions are happening in different places inside the cell. That is the unique feature of these eukaryotic cells. But that is not seen in prokaryotic ones because they do not have organelles. Only organelle they have is the ribosome. Right? They do not have mitochondria, no chloroplast, no Golgi apparatus, no ER, nothing. Only thing is ribosome. Right? So then here in eukaryotes, DNA are arranged inside the nucleus. The functions are carried out inside the organelles. So therefore they are well organized. Eukaryotic cell is well organized. Therefore, the organism is also well organized. As the cell is the smallest unit, then how about the organism? It is also well organized. Right. So what are the structures in eukaryotic cell? Cell surface membrane, nucleus, there is an organized nucleus with nucleoenvelope and nucleolus. You can see rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes, centrioles and microtubules, cilia, microvilli, chloroplasts, cell wall, plasmadesmata, vacuole. You have to study all the organelles given here. So you have to study in this lesson. What are these? What are the functions of these items? Right. So here some are organelles, some are not organelles. So what are organelles given here? Is the cell surface membrane an organelle? No, it is not an organelle, it is a structure. Nucleus is an organelle. Rough endoplasmic is an organelle. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum organelle. Golgi body, mitochondria, ribosome, lysosome, centriole, they are organelles, but microtubule is not an organelle. Cilia, it is not an organelle. Microvilli, not an organelle. Chloroplast is organelle, but cell wall is not an organelle. Plasmadesmata, not an organelle. Vacuole is an organelle. Can you see the components here? So if you are given this type of diagram, first you should familiarize with the shape of these organelles. That is very important one, right? So here this is this represents all the animal cells. This cell represents all the animal cells which can be seen under electron microscope. Here this one is called the cytosol. Cytosol is another name we use to identify the cytoplasm. Plasma of the cell, cytoplasm. Both are same. Cytosol, or sometimes we use cytosol, sometimes we use it as cytoplasm. Right, both are same. And then you can see another structure called centrioles. Centriole. Here, centrioles normally we can see as a bundle. We will learn what is centriole then. That centrioles only we can see when the cell is ready for its division. During the cell division, the centrioles are very clear. Here, there's another one. It is called rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. See, most of the rough endoplasmic reticulums are associated with this nucleus. Right? Why it is called rough? Because we can see ribosomes on the surface of this reticulum, endoplasmic reticulum. And this biggest one in the animals, in an animal cell is the nucleus. So it has a nuclear envelope. Here you can see it is covered with a nuclear envelope. So it is a double membrane structure. Two membranes are used to create the nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus there is another part. It is called nucleolus. Nucleolus. and rest of the area is called nucleoplasm. This area is called the nucleoplasm. It contains chromatin, is DNA. This area has DNA. Chromosomes can have chromosomes, DNA. And also, in this nuclear envelope, we can see some pores like this. These are called nuclear pores. See? Nuclear pore, nuclear pore, nuclear pore, nuclear pore. And here, some ribosomes. Ribosome is the smallest organelle present in a cell. Okay. Ribosome is the smallest organelle present in a cell. So these ribosomes can be present on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum. So that is what we call RER. And some ribosomes are freely available in the cytoplasm. Right? And also there are free protein tubes in the cytoplasm, in the cell. Free protein tubes are there, which is used to create the structures. The relevant structures are created by this protein. The protein structures, they are protein structures. Protein tubes are there, which are called microtubules. And also protein threads, filaments are there. Microtubules are tube-like structures. Microfilaments are filament-like structures, thread-like structures. Right? So this is very important to provide the support for the cell and keep the organelles in a specific locations. Likewise, very important. And the powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondria. So this is the appearance of the mitochondria in a cell. See, in an animal cell, you can see mitochondria like this. And also another endoplasmic reticulum, it is called smooth. Why it is called smooth? Because there are no ribosomes on the surface. No ribosomes, then it's called smooth. So therefore, these two, in rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum functions are different from each other. They have different functions. And also here, another important organelle is called Golgi body. It is called Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. There are several names, right? Golgi body. This is Golgi body, and this is also Golgi body. You should be familiar to identify the Golgi body, right? And also in between the cells, you can find intracellular spaces. Normally, tissue fluid is filled inside these intracellular spaces. And also you can see some organelles, very small organelles called lysosomes. Those are like vesicles, vesicle-like structures, lysosomes, right? And also the animal cell is covered with cell membrane. The margin of the animal cell is protected by the cell membrane, right? So this is the structure of the components inside the animal cell. This is an animal cell. Plant cell has slight differences from that. We will discuss it after discussing this part, right? Okay. Now here, this is a real electron micrograph of a cell, right? Here, can you identify? This is the nucleus. It is clear, eh? Nucleus is clear here. Nucleus, nuclear membrane, it's clear. And here, can you see the mitochondria? Can you remember? This is how we draw the mitochondria in the cell, because it is double membrane organelle. And then same like this, here, mitochondria. And these are endoplasmic reticulums. And also the mitochondria, this is also mitochondria, and cell membrane here, cell membrane, the margin, and Golgi apparatus is here, Golgi apparatus, electron micrograph. Let's go one by one. Cell surface membrane, post cell membrane. So in an animal cell, the cell is surrounded by this cell membrane. Or another name, it is called plasma membrane. Cell membrane or the plasma membrane. So the cell is covered with this cell membrane. So it separates the cell from the surroundings. Right? This separates the cell from the surroundings. Now in this lesson, we are not talking about the structure of the cell membrane, but we have another separate lesson to talk about the structure of cell membrane. So this cell membrane is made up of phospholipids. Right? In a cell membrane, there are two layers of phospholipids. So it is given as this here. This is one layer, this is another layer. Right? Two phospholipids are there. But this cell membrane has important parts to exchange the substances. That means the cell membrane can control the substances that enter and leave the cell. It can control it. It can take oxygen, it can take water, it can take glucose, it can take ions, likewise to the inside. As well as it can release some substance to the outside, like carbon dioxide, the urea, right? So then the waste products, likewise, it can exchange the substances. Who supports the cell membrane? Through the cell membrane, substances can exchange. So it is, the structure is developed for that. Right? And remember, the cell membrane is a partially permeable membrane. Cell membrane is a partially permeable membrane. Why it is called partially permeable or semi-permeable? Only selected substances only can pass through it. Okay? Only selected substances can pass through it. Right? No, all the items cannot pass through it. It is not fully permeable. So because of that, we can survive on this environment. If it is not a partially permeable membrane, life cannot exist. You know? Everything will go out. So can the cell exist then? No, it will die. But cell can select what should come in, what should go out. That is decided by the cell membrane. See how it is important. Cell membrane. Partially permeability is so important for the existence of life. Right? So therefore we can introduce it as a gate which allows to transport into the cell the essential nutrients and the move from the cell like the waste products. Okay. Here how you can see the cell membrane through a electron microscope. This is a membrane of one cell. This is a membrane of another cell. In between that you can see the intracellular space. See, it has double layer. I said that cell membrane has double layer here. This is one phospholipid layer, this is one phospholipid layer. Therefore, we can see it as a sandwich in electron microscope. Here. So here, this is the cell membrane. How you can see the cell membrane. Here. Cell membrane. Right? Right. That is about cell membrane. I am not talking about the structure of cell membrane now. As I said, we have a separate lesson for that. Now, you should remember these features about the cell membrane. Animal cells specially protected by the cell membrane. The cell is surrounded by cell surface membrane. Right? It separates the cell from the surroundings. It controls the substances that enter and leave the cell. Right? It acts as a partially permeable membrane. So likewise, and also the cell membrane can recognize the signals which are coming from outside. Cell membrane can recognize the signals So it has receptors, right? Cell membranes have receptors to catch the signals. So therefore it is so important. Cell membrane, it can catch the signals, it can control the substances exchanging, it separates the cell from surrounding, it protects the cell, right? There are many functions, but to now that's enough. Then the nucleus. This is the most important one. So this is in animal cells, actually this is the largest organelle. Especially. Plant cells, normally vacuole is the largest one. But animal cells, the largest organelle is the nucleus. Right? So this nucleus is a membrane-bound nucleus because we are talking about eukaryotes. It is a membrane-bound one. It is surrounded by a membrane. It has two membranes in the nucleus. Nucleus has two membranes. This is one membrane and this is another membrane, other membrane. Two membranes. And also it has pores. It has pores like this, which are called nuclear pores. Right? This is the nuclear envelope. It has two membranes. That membrane is equal to the cell membrane. So most of the organelles membranes are similar to the cell membrane structure. Okay, cell membrane structure. Now here, cell membrane. It's nuclear pores here. It can exchange substances through these pores. And inside this, there's a dense area with RNA and proteins. RNA and histone proteins are there. RNA and histone. That is called nucleolus. Nucleolus. Right? Nucleolus. And then it has DNA. This area is called a nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. This nucleoplasm contains chromatin, DNA. Chromatin, DNA. There are types of chromatin, euchromatin, heterochromatin likewise, but it has chromatin. That is DNA. DNA. Right? So, and most of the time, this nuclear envelope is associated with rough endoplasmic reticulum. Associated rough endoplasmic reticulum like this. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Why it is called rough? It has ribosomes on its surface. Ribosome on the surface like this. Right? It has ribosomes on the surface. Remember that RER is not a part of the nuclear membrane, but okay, it's not a part of it, it's another organelle. But most of the time, this RER is associated with the nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. Right? Okay, so you have to remember these names: nuclear envelope, nuclear pore, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, those things. Okay, here you can see here this is the nucleus with nuclear envelope and nuclear pores. Here nucleoplasm contains chromatin, thread like DNA, and nucleolus here. Nucleolus, right? So this is the structure of the nucleus, and this is the structure where the genetic material is stored. So therefore this nucleus is named as the control point of the cell. It controls all the activities of the cell because it contains the genetic material. Chromosomes are present inside the nucleus. It protects this genetic material, right? And also this nucleus can divide. During the cell division, nucleus can divide into two, right? So when the new cells are making, nucleus divides into two and then separate into two cells. Likewise, here you can see right? So then you is given here nucleolus. So nucleolus produce RNA. You know, the nucleolus is a place inside the nucleus. It produces RNA because RNA is very important to produce ribosomes, right? Ribosomes. And then chromatin is there with DNA, and membranes, outer membrane, inner membrane create the nuclear envelope, right? Is this. This is how the nucleus is appeared in the in electron microscope, right? Here membrane is clear, eh? Membrane is clear. Envelope, outer membrane, inner membrane. So nuclear envelope is there. Okay, and nuclear pores are there here. Nuclear pore, and these are chromatin. That means DNA, and this is the nucleolus. Yeah. Likewise. Now we have learned today the nucleus, the cell membrane, eukaryotic cells and its components, and what is the cell. And the rest of the parts, still we didn't discuss the other parts of the cell. Therefore, I will show it after discussing the rest of the lesson. Now you may get an idea about the cell and its organelles. So here I have given a list of organelles there, then you should be able to remember the names of those cells and identify the organelles as well as the functions of you should remember the function of each organelle.